Generally speaking, blood and other bodily fluids are considered to be the most primal form of our life force energy. This is because they're literally the essence of our physical body. In tantric traditions, this fluid is called prana, oyas, or bindu. And it's believed that when this energy is transmuted through certain yogic practices, it can then be used to awaken Kundalini. In other words, it's like taking this very primal base form of energy and refining it to a much higher spiritual energy. It's kind of like turning lead into gold, but with energy instead of metals. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't some kind of yogic alchemy where we're trying to create a physical substance. This is all happening at an energetic level. So what exactly is this primal energy? Well, it's basically the energy that flows through our blood vessels, but it's not just that. It's also the energy that's generated by our bodily fluids, especially sexual fluids. This energy is considered to be the most concentrated and potent form of our life force. It's raw, it's untamed, and it's full of creative potential. But how do we tap into this energy? Well, that's where the yogic practices come in. Tantra is one of the 6 orthodox schools of yoga, and it's actually considered to be the most advanced. And when it comes to working with this primal energy, tantric traditions, especially left-hand tantra, have some pretty unique and sometimes controversial practices. But tantric traditions are not the only ones that emphasize the importance of this primal energy. Kriya Yoga or Laya Yoga schools also place great importance on blood and other bodily fluids. In fact, there are several kriyas or cleansing techniques that are specifically designed to purify these fluids. The goal is to refine and transform this primal energy so that it can be used to awaken Kundalini. Now it's important to understand that while these practices may sound shocking or strange, they're not about being gross or indulging in our primal desires. They're about going to the very source of our being and purifying it, transmuting it into a higher form of energy. Think of it like cleaning up a polluted river. It's not pleasant to think about, but it's necessary if we want to have clean water to drink. Similarly, these practices are meant to cleanse and purify our primal energy so that it can flow freely through our body and be used for spiritual awakening. Now, it's not just Indian traditions that have these ideas. Taoist alchemy, which is a Chinese practice, also emphasizes the importance of working with blood and body fluids. In fact, they have a similar concept to oyas called jing, and they believe that this jing can be refined through various alchemical processes. So what's the point of all this? Why should you care about blood and other bodily fluids? Well, first of all, it's just plain weird, right? I mean, we don't usually think of bodily fluids as having any kind of spiritual significance. We see them as something gross and something to be avoided. But what if I told you that these fluids are actually the most primal form of our energy? What if they're the key to unlocking our spiritual potential? That's pretty cool, isn't it? It challenges our conventional ideas about what's sacred and what's not. It shows us that there's much more to our bodies and our experiences than what we can see on the surface. So next time you find yourself recoiling at the sight of blood or other body fluids, remember that they're not just gross and disgusting. They're actually the very essence of our being, the source of our life force energy. And who knows, maybe they hold the key to our spiritual awakening. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, let the ancient wisdom of yoga and tantra guide you on your journey towards self-discovery and enlightenment. Namaskar.